Welcome to datascience.show, the podcast where data science meets executive leadership. We talk with top AI and analytics thought leaders about turning data into real business impact. If you're a C-level leader or data expert shaping the future, you're in the right place.
I'm your host, Mirko Peters. We explore how data science and AI drive real business impact, straight from the leaders making it happen. Today, we're tackling a deceptively simple question. How do you price internal AI so it stops being an unpredictable cost center and starts behaving like a sustainable product line? Stick with me. By the end, you'll have a practical plan to pilot internal pricing in 90 days and the telemetry you absolutely need to trust the numbers.
Organizations often think the hard part is the model. In my experience, the harder problem is economics. Who pays, who benefits, and who decides what gets built next? Imagine a central ML platform that runs hundreds of models and a dozen business teams that use them. Without pricing, consumption is invisible or chaotic, engineering capacity is misallocated, and executives can't weigh trade-offs between incremental features and new revenue opportunities. That's where internal pricing comes in, as both a governance mechanism and a product management tool.
Quick note on perspective. Throughout this episode, I'll speak as if I'm advising a senior AI product leader, someone who owns platform economics, partners with finance, and reports into the CTO or CDO. They're managing millions in infrastructure, dozens of consumers, and a small team of platform engineers. If that aligns with your role, the examples will be directly applicable. If you're a CEO or head of business, treat this as the playbook you can ask your data leaders to run.
Let's start with objectives. Why even price internally? There are three big goals. First, create transparency so teams can see true marginal costs. Second, align incentives so teams prioritize value over gratuitous consumption. Third, generate product economics that let leadership decide when to subsidize, when to charge, and when to sunset an offering. If you can achieve those three, you convert models and data assets into accountable products.
Now, the toolbox. 4 pricing models I see work in large orgs. First, Chargeback. Report usage and costs to teams without forcing payment. It builds awareness and provides a trial run for metrics. Second, Chargeback or internal billing. Teams are billed based on consumption, usually tied to cloud and inference costs. Third, Subscription. A flat fee for access to a curated data product or an SLA-backed model. Fourth, Value-based pricing. Charge a percentage or share of captured value when the model directly drives revenue or cost reduction. Each serves different goals and stages of maturity.
Pick the wrong model and you create perverse incentives. For example, metered inference pricing can discourage calling models during useful experiments, but subscription models can encourage waste if there's no control on heavy batch jobs. Value-based pricing sounds ideal, but it requires crystal-clear attribution and risk-sharing agreements. So most successful organizations use hybrid approaches. Start with Chargeback, validate telemetry, move to chargeback for predictable costs, and reserve value-sharing deals for high-impact automations. Let's talk telemetry, the backbone of any pricing scheme. You need reliable, auditable signals for 3 things: who called the service, what was run, and how much it cost. At minimum, capture request counts, model version identifier, input size, compute time, memory footprint, and downstream cost attribution tags from your cloud provider. Pair those with business tags, owning team, business unit, environment, and experiment ID. Don't skimp out immutable logs and an exportable billing table. If the numbers can't be audited by finance, the whole system will be distrusted.
A quick practical mapping. Inference-heavy services, think real-time recommendation engines or scoring, are usually good candidates for per-call or per-1,000 calls pricing because their marginal cost is CPU and latency sensitive. Data products, curated feature stores, cleaned datasets, reference tables, often suit subscription pricing because the value is about continuous access and SLA. Automated decision systems that change P&L, dynamic pricing, fraud blocking, are where value-based deals belong, but only after you've proven attribution and have legal agreements.
If you need something you can launch in 90 days, here's a pragmatic pilot blueprint. Week 1, align stakeholders, platform, finance, 2 business sponsors, and legal. Define what you'll measure and the minimum acceptable telemetry. Weeks 2 to 4, instrument a single high-volume model or data product with billing-grade telemetry and run showback. Weeks 5 to 8, validate metrics with finance, resolve attribution disputes, and simulate internal invoices. Weeks 9 to 12, move to optional chargeback for volunteer teams and install reporting dashboards for product and executive review. After 90 days, you'll have usage patterns, contested assumptions, and a clear decision. Subsidize, charge, or iterate.
A few trade-offs and guardrails to keep on your radar. Never auto-enforce chargebacks without a prior showback period. That destroys trust. Start with conservative pricing buckets, simple units like API calls, GB months of data, or decisions avoided. Then refine. Avoid pricing that encourages batching to circumvent metering. And crucially, tie pricing decisions to capacity planning. If a team is billed for heavy usage, your product team can justify prioritizing optimization work rather than new feature builds.
From a leadership perspective, pricing changes the conversation. Instead of debates about who owns the model, finance and business units debate ROI, unit economics, and capacity allocation. Good KPIs to bring to the executive table are cost per decision, utilization of model-serving clusters, gross margin on data products, percent of consumption under chargeback, and time to value from model deployment to measurable impact. For strategic automations, track value captured versus the compensation paid to the platform. That's how you decide if a model becomes a P&L-backed product.
Governance rules I recommend. 1. Require billing tags on every production call. No tags, no production. 2. Run showback for a minimum of 2 billing cycles before any enforced chargeback. 3. Cap experimental spend per team to protect discovery. 4. Audit usage quarterly and publish a simple pricing FAQ to reduce disputes. And 5. Involve legal early for any value-sharing contracts to define attribution windows and dispute resolution.
Now, the future lens. Over the next 12 to 24 months, expect internal pricing to become table stakes in organizations that scale AI responsibly. Pricing data creates a feedback loop. Visibility drives prioritization, which drives code and cost optimizations, which in turn makes pricing more sustainable. The main risks are political pushback and poorly designed incentives, both solvable if you move slowly, transparently, and with finance at the table.
Before we wrap, 2 concrete next steps you can take Monday morning. 1. Pick a single high-volume model or data product and enable showback with billing-grade telemetry. 2. Convene a short steering group, platform, finance, 2 business sponsors, and legal, and agree the 90-day pilot charter. Those 2 moves alone will convert fuzzy talk about costs into actionable economics. Final reflection. Building AI is half engineering and half economics. If you only invest in models and skip the pricing and telemetry work, you'll keep funding an unpredictable cost center. Do the economic work and you change incentives, prioritize the right engineering bets, and critically, unlock repeatable ROI. That's the difference between models and value.
If you found this episode valuable, subscribe and share it with your network. And let's connect on LinkedIn. I'm Miracle Peters. We'll be back with more conversations on how data science and AI create real business impact. Until next time.
Thanks for listening to datascience.show. If you found value in this episode, subscribe, share it with your network, and join us next time as we explore how data science drives smarter decisions and better business outcomes.